Alo. Ses iyi mi? Güzel. Hadi bakalım. Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang. Alo. Heh. Ses iyi mi? Güzel. Hadi bakalım İngilizce. Stanley Parable oynuyoruz. Have you played Stanley Parable before? No. Oynadın mı lan? Hatırlamıyorum ya. Şu anki saat 21 kaç oldu? 9 mu oluyor? 9:52, keşke geriye şey yapsaydım. 52 olunca başlatıyorum. Tamam. Begin the game. Loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yes sir. Sen de
Stanley
adını
worked for
kim?
a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Biz bir şirket
Employee number
çalışıyormuşuz.
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor.
Orders came to him through a monitor desk.
What buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
Çok güzel bir iş.
Others might have considered it soul-rending. Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ben de mutlu olurdum. Çok güzel bir iş.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Ne oldu?
Something that would forever change Stanley.
Ne oldu
Something
Stanley?
he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the
nasıl?
monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Isolation.
Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid.
Solid. No one hears a word.
But
They
as he came
say.
to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Yo. Çıkmıyor. Çıkmayacağım. Nasıl bir oyun olabiliyor mu? Oyun da... Ne yapacaksın ya? Çıkmıyorum. Ne kadar süre bekleyeceksin beni ya? Bir şey demesi lazım ama kesin. Evet çıktık ya.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Hadi.
No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Yok, burayı tıklayacağım. Bu 417 mi dedi? Bak bu bilgisayar açık. Ah! Kapattım.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Neredeydi lan 437?
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415.
Now, back to door number 437.
Allah Allah.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes, this is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
Burada yok mu copy machine ya? Oraya mı gideceğim öyle?
clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow.
Sonunda.
That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Neyse. Devam edelim çıkmaya. You can jump. No, seriously we disable it. Başarım geldi. 150. düzeye ulaştım PlayStation'a başarı olarak tam.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Soldaki mi? Yeah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Evet. Bence Papa'yı söylemen lazım.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Hell no.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Niye bu sefer yanlış gönderdiler belki? Bir 1000 liralık menü söyle o yüzden. Bir şey demeyecek misin ya? Çıkıyorum bak. Çıktım.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Yok.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Çok konuşma. Kart lazım.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Oh.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Çünkü ben güçlü biriyim.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you...
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Tamam.
Stanley walked through the red door.
Hop. Kırmızı kapıdan geçiyorum.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red...
Tam kırmızı kapıdan geçiyorum.
Fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Porno döner.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard.
Ya.
Because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
Ya.
It's over.
Ah.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here?
Humming. I'm humming.
Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Anam.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
No.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture out
Come.
and see what else is out there.
Who fire makes the fire voice? Who voices? Aa, CS mi açayım? CS'yi nasıl açabilirim ki? Can Sungur mu? Yayında mı şu an Can Sungur? Can Sungur. Can Sungur. Ha, şu an Kingdom Come yayını yapıyor Can Sungur bu arada. Ben nasıl CS açabilirim ki? Lan şöyle bir yerde yaşamak isterdim ya. Direksiyon setimi alayım, onunla CS oynayayım.
Oh no. No, no, no, no, it can't be.
Oh no, no, no, no, no. Az önce bebek yaktım, sen ne diyorsun?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
CS'e giremem.
You really wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Nice big insurmountable balls.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Aa, ne oluyor abi? Lan
Wonderful.
Rocket League?
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun. Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple
Rocket League oynuyor işte
for an
abi.
even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh, hold on. What are you doing?
Ne oldu?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Lan ne oluyor? Niye herkes Can Sungur izlemeye başladı ya? Aa, nereye geldim? Abo. Çok korku oyunu haritası var böyle. Gerildim. Bu oyun beni gerdi. Oğlum bu nasıl, ne oluyor şu an ya? 427 benim odamın numarası değil miydi o? 17 miydi benimki?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his
Allah'ım ya.
choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bak.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. Stanley tried literally every single door in the office, because he doesn't pick up. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Who farted? I hate Monday.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Kim için?
Stanley, your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She's mi? Kim ya?
That's her, Stanley. You
Ne
need to be the
oldu?
one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates
Sıkıcı bir
food
oyun olmaya
shortages
başladı.
across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to...
Efendim anne.
Samet şimdi geldim ablamlara.
Ha, iyi tamam.
Nasılsın?
İyi.
İyi annem. Tamam hadi kendine dikkat et.
Tamam.
İyi annem hadi görüşürüz.
Hadi görüşürüz. Bay bay. Tamam.
Hadi bay bay.
Bay bay.
rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Of ya. Uyku geldi.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to read what you read just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late. Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Ne oluyor ya?
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Ya bu ne ya?
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief what demonstrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Zenci. Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. Hello?
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark, hello.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. We need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am
Okay.
okay.
I'm not.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Hayda. Zenci oldu.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Oh,
Perhaps he
yeah.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Of abi uykumu getirdi oyun ya.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Well, did something change? Stanley, Did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story. I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yunanları mı siktir? Ben Yunan...
Okay, yep,
Al kapıyı. Ben Yunan kızlarını sevmiyorum ya. Afiyet olsun. Abi çok sıkıcı olmaya başladı oyun ya. Orada uykum geldi yani. Alacağım. Ya oynarken esniyorum yani artık.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Ya hep duyuyorum ama şey bir oyundu da bilmiyorum ya. Yorgun olduğum için olabilir.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in
Bu
an
arada
office
da yüklü
building.
değil ya. Önceden yüklemiştim.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yeah.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square.
Çünkü ben güçlü biriyim.
One of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Azıcık yeniden basit duruyor ya. Ya bu oyun olayı zaten o da.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Yok ben çizgiyi takip etmem.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Ne anlıyorsun? Solitaire oynuyor adam ya.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being
Allah
by the very
Hogwarts
manifestation
hiçbirini
of the
anlamadım ya.
nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Ne oluyor? TL'den sonra gözükmüyor. Ben buna para vermedim ki. PlayStation ücretsiz veriyor. O mesajı... Sen niye masaüstü yanına alma? Çok uzun mesaj edince gözükmüyor şu an. Bilgisayarımda değil, ekrandan okuyorum chat'i. Neden yanıma almıyorum? Nasıl getireceğim abi? Uçakta nasıl getireyim ben onu?
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Abi sana ücretsiz verdiği oyunları söyleyeceğim, dur. Şu an bir ses geliyor olması lazım. Bak şu ana kadar ücretsiz verdiği oyunlarda güzel olan ne var söyleyeyim sana. Bekle. Ha, koleksiyona gelin. İşte bunu verdi. Diablo 4'ü bedava verdi. Abi sen ne diyorsun? Diablo 4 verdi. Ondan sonra The Atlas Trials verdi. Lego Horizon Adventures, Singularity, Echo of Ada. Her ay 3 tane ücretsiz oyun veriyor. Neon White diye bir oyun. Killing Floor 3 verdi. Mass Effect'i o vermedi. Pardon. Onu kendim almıştım. Stray verdi. Total Battle Simulator. VVA 2024 verdi. NBA 2025 verdi. Cocoon verdi. Alan Wake 2 verdi. Ghost Simulator 3 verdi. Psychonauts 2 verdi. Police Simulator verdi. My Hero 1 Justice 2 verdi. Lies of P verdi. Lies of P. Jusant diye bir oyun verdi. The King of the Fighters 15'i verdi. Eski oyunlar. Alone in the Dark verdi. Ark Survival Ascended verdi. Warhammer 4000 Balkan verdi. The Texas Chainsaw Masaraj verdi. Digimon Stories Salute verdi. Sonic Frontiers verdi. Robocop Rocksteady verdi bu yeni oyunu. Coffee Talk verdi. Jurassic World Evolution 2 verdi. Ondan sonra Sonic Colors Ultimate verdi. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Cowabunga verdi. Dragon Age Vegas bunu da mı vermiş? Almışım valla. Ondan sonra ne verdi? Aliens Dark Descent verdi. Death Note oyunu verdi. Ghostwire Tokyo diye oyun verdi. Ananız ki başa döndüm ya. Dur. Dead Space verdi. Ya bir sürü verdi abi bu işi.
And remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Tokyo'lu oyun mu? Ya bilmiyorum abi. Her ay 3 tane oyun veriyor. Evet. Merak ettim. Allah Allah bedava verdi merak ettim ya. Sikerim belanı ha.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No, no. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is
Tamam özür dilerim.
ringing a bell?
Özür dilerim şaka.
Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
Nereye geldim ya? Ben ananı da satarım. Mahallede kızlara.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us?
Employee
How could we
fired.
trust you? After everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Ya abi başla Allah'ım ya Allah'ını ya. Her şey epişler.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Adam
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
konuşmuştu daha önce. Ama bugün başka biriyle tanıştım.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Pazartesi
We
orada
mustn't
hep
the
Starbucks'ta.
opportunity. In fact, I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Robota mı dönüştü? Alo.
Okay.
Nasıl
So I
robota
know that
dönüştüm ya?
each
Of, Allah'ım ya. Alo. Şu an gel... Aa, iyi.
door has to lead somewhere, which means
Şey dedim ya. Abi hep böyle kaç haftadır ben hep böyle erken gidiyorum ya saat 7 gibi falan okula. Ne zaman gitsem hep pazartesi günleri Starbucks'ta o da oluyor. Neyse hep böyle kaç cümle konuşmuş. Böyle bizim o Starbucks abiyle falan o da bayağı muhabbet ediyor. Ben de neyse, o işte bugün tanıştığım kişi. Hayır abi. Abil değil. Diyebilirsin. Neyse. İşte bugün kahve alacaktım işte. O ilk bir şey söyledi. Ve sonra ben zaten birazdan kalkacağım işte sen gel buraya otur dedi. Kalorifer yanında dedi. Neyse yanına gittim oturdum. Sonra biraz muhabbet ettik. Sonra ders başladı kalktık ama çok güzel muhabbet, çok tatlı bir muhabbet ettik ve ya bana bakarken gülümsüyordu yani. Çok mutlu oldum bugün.
that somewhere the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since
Evet.
the answer is
Bugün
clearly
Avil de
yes,
vardı.
by all accounts, the door
Umut
on the
Hoca'nın
right is
dersi
the
önünde
correct one.
oturuyordu.
Another victory for logic.
Ve
Come,
söyle
Stanley.
ya,
Our destiny awaits.
neyse bir ders aralarına bir ders çıkışında falan Mertlerle falan o da vardı işte. Onların yanında duruyordum. Yok abi bitti ya. Bitti amına koyayım. Koyayım.
Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion ending. You're not telling me that's
Beyler
what this
bitti.
is. It's all one giant ending, and we're supposed to restart the game what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So
Beyler
now,
bitti.
according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I
Denedik
don't
ya
want to
abi
forget?
işte.
My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on
Nasıl
this
denemedim? Bitti.
thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
Ya ne anlatıyorsun? Bok gibi oyuncusun ya.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
Life is about passing energies. It's about how many messages you get.
Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Ne oluyor ya? Keşke bir oyun oynayacağım anime izleseydim ya.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yoruldum. Yorucu bir oyun. Sen yorucu bir oyuncusun.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. Giddy in a way, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Gözümden yaş geldi sıkıntıdan.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that.
Ha, yine aynı şeyi anlatıp durma.
Why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
Boss mı? Big boss.
Stanley. Maybe,
Big boss.
Himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my
I am big boss.
Mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all.
Aynı şeyi anlatıp duruyor.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. Why did he see his feet when he looked down?
Evet, ayaklarım yok.
Toes automatically behind him wherever he went. And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Her şeyin başı sıfırdan olmadı umarım.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Uyuyacağım şimdi.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now...
Yok abi, oynayamayacağım ya. Çok sıkıcı oldu. Abi niye yayındaki oyun değiştiremiyorum ya? Warsales geçen gün Bannerlord'da aldım PlayStation'ı. Neyse, kapatıyorum şimdi ya. Çok uykum geldi, yatacağım. Hadi iyi geceler. Bannerlord yayın yapmayı planlıyorum bir ara. Neyse, görüşürüz.